ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ilya SOLNTSEV. I'm Director of Sports Research Department of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics. And today I'm going to speak about our project, Football Development Index, which we developed together with my colleagues who are presented here. 2 years ago, we developed a football development strategy for the Football Union of Russia till the year 2020. And propose different tools how to implement it in practice. And among one of these tools, we proposed to use rating systems. With these ratings, we use 20 factors, clusters in 5 groups. And with these groups, we try to evaluate how football is developed in all regions of Russian Federation. It's 83 regions, so we have spoken to all these guys in different regions about how they work in football, what do they do, how to develop this game. Talking about these factor groups, it's 5. So it's reserve training, top performance sport, infrastructure, grassroots, and football development activities of this federation. Our work was approved by the Football Union of Russia and used for monitoring process and granting the fundings for the regions. After that, we decided to make the same work, but for all FIFA countries. So, on this slide, you can see the FDI roadmap, so how we managed to do it. We have started with developing criteria groups and gathering valid data. After that, we complied this data in a structured manner. And the final milestone was to create a football development index itself. Our main goal was to provide a conventional approach for assessing the level of football development in all FIFA member countries. We aim to achieve the following results with this work. First of all, benchmark the best global practices in football development. Create an evaluation model for focusing on football development. Identify the weak points in the development progress of national FAs. And finally, formate a measurement tool to help support the development activities of national FAs. Before starting this project, we made some homework and tried to find some examples in the field. We took into account existing rating methodologies. For example, Doing Business, Corruption Index, Happy Planet Index, and some other works. But the most important project for us was this Human Development Index, which consists of 3 groups. It's education, health, and income. So we decided to make our Football Development Index in the same manner. So our index comprises of 3 main variables. It's on-pitch performance, football popularity, and football development environment. And now I'm going to speak briefly about all of these variables. So, on-pitch performance includes top football results. First of all, it's all national team results, results of clubs representatives in international tournaments, and FIFA ranking. Talking about national football performance, all 209 FIFA member countries were ranked according to their results on all FIFA international tournaments during the period between 2000 and 2014. The calculation includes tournaments of various age groups, starting from the under 17 level, both male and female, including futsal and beach football. The number of points depend on 2 variables. First of all, it's the status of the tournament, and the second is number of participants. The winner of each tournament receives an amount of points equal to the number of participants. For each stage, the team receives the amount of points equal to the minimum score calculated proportionally to the number of participants. For instance, in FIFA World Cup, every team receives the minimum of 4.6 points, and the winner gets 32. Secondly, we had to evaluate each tournament significance. In this case, we took into account two factors. First of all, it's tournament popularity, and the second is tournament frequency. The weights are presented on the slide, and you can see these weights. Now I'm going to talk about club performance. Here we ranked every country in a uniform manner with a 100-point system within its confederation. The nation with the biggest rank receives 100 points. Each confederation gets its weight based on the representative performance in a FIFA Club World Cup for the period from the 2005 to the 2014. The confederation represented by its teams with the best results receives a coefficient of 1, and others proportionally to the results of the top confederation. The highest ranking was given to UEFA, and the other confederation, as I said before, gets these points proportionally. The third variable in this group of factors is FIFA ranking, and we took all these figures from the official FIFA website. The second group of factors, first of all, is football popularity. In this group, we used three factors. It's percent of population involved in football, number of clubs registered in national FA, and average attendance of football matches. And our third group of factors is football environment. It's the biggest group, and here we used following criteria. It's registered football players divided to all footballers, number of coaches, number of FIFA referees, number of national squads, and stadium capacity in the particular country. The main problem for us was to collect the input information. The majority of data was found in open sources. Besides, we designed specially questionnaires and sent it to all 209 FIFA countries. All these emails were supported by the phone calls, so our team just make a lot of calls to every country, get some response from some of it, unfortunately not from all, but we did our best. Besides, we send this requests to confederations, and of course we have spoken to FIFA representatives. The lack of reliable financial, marketing, statistical and media data forced us to include such factors as national FA funding, top-tier league club budget amount, number of football academies, web coverage and football inventory sold in a single year. But in the future, we hope to add this information to our model if we manage to find it. In order to provide a clearer interpretation of the FDI result, a cross-telling system was introduced. We decided to use a common 5-star system to make the overall ranking more approachable and understandable. This system is reflected on the global and continental maps. On-pitch performance ranking corresponds with the official FIFA rating, but within this criterion, we can find some surprising results. For instance, the top 20 national football teams consist of nations which barely enter the top 100 of the FIFA ranking. This could be explained by the fact that some nations demonstrate better and more consistent results in U20 and U17 competitions, while Uruguay, Portugal, for example, and Russia scored the most points through the performance of their beach soccer and futsal teams. Club performance of National Federation confirmed the dominance of European representatives. The second sub-ranking, football popularity, saw Germany take top spot, dominating in all the three criteria of the marking group. But we found positive dynamics in their countries as well. For instance, the attendance of matches in India and China are the 4th and 8th, respectively, best in the world. Namibia, Barbados, Bermuda, Cook Islands, San Marino are more commonly known as football outsiders. Yet all of these countries are ranked in the top 20 based in the criterion of percentage of population playing football. Of course, we must also take into account here the number of population in these countries. The final sub-ranking, football environment, provided 2 spots for nations with high-quality domestic football leagues, or hosting previously or upcoming continental and global football tournament. By combining the results of all 3 sub-rankings, we formed the overall football development index. 34 nations out of 209 showed an above-average score, with lists them at countries with a high football development levels. The dispersion of global football development may be viewed through the FDI world map. We also designed continental FDI maps, for example, for UEFA map and FDI AFC map, CONMEBOL map, CONCACAF, and AFC. And of course OFC, sorry. This one last. We also conducted a correlation analysis in order to understand the validity and interpretation of the calculated data. We've analyzed the dependencies between socio-economic indicators, education index, life expectancy index, income index, and following variables. First of all, it's FIFA ranking, second FDI itself, and the third one is FDI of European countries. The results are presented on the slide, so we can make the following conclusions. First of all, there is no sufficient relation between FIFA index and country's socio-economic development level. Second, on a global scale, there is a correlation between the football development index and socio-economic indexes, but these dependencies are insufficient to state strong relationship. On a European scale, the correlation between the football development index and socio-economic index is above average. These findings are similar to Szymanski and Cooper research. The future of FDI will be based on the following enhancements. First of all, it's updating and verifying most of the used data through cooperation with FIFA and national FAs. Developing the criteria database as well as adding new criteria, which I mentioned before. Improving the ranking model with the introduction of different scoring system. And the last one is presenting the concept of the football development index to the football community, seeking public approval, which is exactly why we are here today. So how can we use the results of our research? First of all, the overall position of a given country in the final ranking is not so important. This is only the reason to analyze the situation. Besides, it's an opportunity to benchmark best global development practices and avoid past mistakes. This ranking could be used for the funding allocation, which is annually conducted by FIFA to promote the game. We hope that new president of FIFA could employ our model for more fair interpretation of funds. I want to stress that we realize the weaknesses of our project and would be very grateful for any comments or support. There was a good times and close friendship relationship between Russia and France. And at the end of my presentation, I want to cite Denis Diderot, who said that I'm not obliged to find the truth, but I should to do my best to find it. So thank you for your attention.